Hi, welcome back to Sacred by Design. I'm Lorene Youngblood, your interior designer. And we are going to talk more about contractors today. This is our second video that dives in deeper to our general topic. And today we're going to talk about walkthroughs, what we call walkthroughs, and that's when your contractors and subcontractors come in and actually walk through your project. Now, at this point, we're assuming that you have, first off, had a general idea of what you're going to do, had contractors come in and do the bidding process. We talked about that in the last video. And now, between that time and this point in the process, what you have done is completed your design process. Now, that means that you have we're going to assume we're working with kitchens. Okay, so everything I do is typically geared towards kitchens. Obviously, you can modify what I'm telling you to fit whatever room it is that you want to work on or a whole house. So you have a set of plans. You have finalized your layout, your design. All the kitchens and doors are placed. All of your cabinets have been decided on, where your island is, how big, where everything's going, your sink, your appliances. You've selected your appliances and decided on those. And you have selected your cabinets. You've selected your cabinet style and wood or paint, whatever that is. You have selected, in at least in general, what type of countertops you're putting in. Are you putting in quartz countertops? Are you putting in natural stone countertops? And what kind of natural stone? There can be quite a big price difference between, say, a granite and a quartzite type countertop or soapstone, something like that. So those price ranges can vary. You might not have to select the actual color yet, but at least a general idea of which product. Are you doing laminate? Most people don't do tile countertops anymore, but that is also still an option. And so you want to make sure that you have selected those types of things, what kind of flooring you're going to put in. And hopefully at this point, you've also selected your flooring. Are you doing oak? Are you doing walnut? Are you doing a waterproof LVT, luxury vinyl tile or plank? All of those things. Are you doing marmoleum, which is a sheet good? All of those things, you've decided at least the type of product that you're installing in each location. How many electrical fixtures? Where are the outlets going? Your plans have been finalized at this point. Okay, so sorry. Won't try and dive in too deep on that. So now you've got a set of plans. You've selected most of your products. You know where your cabinets are, what kind they're going to be, what's going into them. Now you've got a contractor that you've selected from the first part of the bidding process. And you call your contractor up, maybe even your designer. I highly recommend that your designer be involved in this process because they can see things that might be missed in the overall walkthrough. Now, your general contractor has subcontractors that they're going to work with. They're going to have an electrician. They're going to have a plumber. They're going to have a drywall person, a painter, the HVAC guy. An HVAC is either the ducting and venting for your hood, or maybe you're installing a new ductless unit, or maybe you're doing whatever. The HVAC guys do all of those things. Then you have your, if your contractor doesn't have one on staff, hopefully a general contractor has their own finish carpenter and person that does installation and tear out. And so any of the other subcontractors that they might need to call in for your project. Then they have your vendors where you've selected your cabinets and you have a plan put together, and they have somebody that can come in and do this walkthrough at this part of the process. Now, maybe cabinets, not so much at this particular point, other than you know how many cabinets are going in and what kind they are. So your contractor has all their subcontractors, and they might take a whole chunk of time in a single day. Maybe they have to break it up into a couple of days, but you want your contractor and your designer and you on site for these walkthroughs. So you want to make sure that everybody's on the same page. You go through the set of plans, you talk about everything that's getting installed with each of the subcontractors. You try not to have them walking over the top of each other, or you've got multiple people asking you questions at the same time. You can space them out a little bit. A little bit of overlap isn't horrible. Your plumber and electrician need to have some kind of a conversation. Your HVAC guy, if he's doing any venting and everything, wants to have a little bit of overlap with the electrician. Those things are going to have a little bit of overlap, so having them on site within the same time range is going to be very apropos, and also facilitate a better seamless translation into the ongoing project during the installation of all your products. So very important that all of these people are on site, have done a final walkthrough, have seen all the plans. They know pretty much as close to exactly what you're going to be installing in your project. And then they're going to come back to your contractor with their bids. Now, this part of the process, depending on what time of year it is, where you're at, and how contractors are doing, it can take a few weeks to get this part of the process done. So be prepared for that. And the fact that it might take a week to 2 weeks, hopefully not any longer than that, to put a final contract price together. And this is when you start talking about the price on the contract that you're going to sign that says this is all the work that's been done. Everybody's been on site. We've all agreed that we pretty much know what we think we're going to run into during the process of installation, and this is the price that we've agreed to do the work for. So very important part of that is this walkthrough. So hopefully with a walkthrough, you mitigate with a complete set of plans, your material selections mostly in place. You want at least 90%. That's my go-to. 90% of your products should be selected at this point for an accurate contract price. It also makes the next part of your process much easier. So walkthroughs with the subcontractors, having your interior designer on site with your contractor to walk through that process, make sure everybody knows what they're getting into, and then your contractor can put together for you a final contract price. And that's what you're looking for. Again, that general breakthrough I gave you in the last video should be way more detailed at this point, right? You should have some serious detail delineating. The plumber knows that they are relocating the water and drain lines for your new sink location. They know that they're adding in water lines for your new refrigerator that's going to have an ice maker and water in the door. Whatever those things are, you want to make sure that those are all lined out and are included in your contract. So hopefully this helps. Having the contractor there with you, you can ask all the questions you need to. This is when you really dial in and make sure that you're asking anything that you can come up with. I suggest through your entire process that you keep notebooks handy, a notebook preferably handy. Every time you think of something, you write it down. Every time you have a question, you write it down, so that when you get into these processes where you have the people on site that know the answers, then you're asking those questions. Fewer surprises during the project if you get this done up front. I really, really recommend that you have not even decided on a schedule yet. Maybe tentatively you have a timeline of when you're going to start the project, but even that, at this point, you haven't even gotten to the ordering part of the process. So please make sure you get your walkthroughs, gives you your contract price. Just an FYI, there's always going to be changes in the project, no matter how careful you are to how much upfront you think you've done. This just mitigates how many of those that you're going to run into and what they're going to cost you. So walkthroughs, important part of the process. Hopefully we're getting closer and excited about getting into your project, and we hope this helps. Hope you have a fabulous and sacred day. Thank you. Laureen Youngblood, Sacred by Design.